Hello and welcome to Standard Voice Television Global News. Today, 26th June 2026, equivalent to Islamic calendar 11th Muharram, 1448 after the Hijrah of the Noble Prophet. In the headlines, President Tinubu pledges safe return of kidnapped Oyo teachers and school children. INEC harps on adequate, timely release of funds to ensure successful conduct of 2027 general elections. Troops of Operation Fansanyama rescue kidnapped victims, recover weapons in Zamfara and Sokoto. On the international scene, Secretary of State says US seek deal with Iran but will not undermine its security. And on sport update, at last Lions of Morocco break Super Eagles World Cup records. Details of these and more will be coming to you in the news bulletin. I am Sumaya Mustafa. Stand by. The presidency has assured residents of Oyo State that the school children and teachers kidnapped during an attack on 3 primary schools in Orire local government area would be rescued unhurt. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made the commitment during the inauguration of the newly remodeled and redeveloped Premier Hotel in Ibadan, Oyo State. He urged Southwest governors to preserve the developmental legacy of their founding fathers, adding that the federal government is deploying all available measures, including international collaboration, to secure the release of the victims and tackle rising insecurity across the country. Tinubu therefore called on Nigerians to remain vigilant and support security agencies through intelligence sharing and community collaboration, and assured that the government was addressing the rising insecurity across the country. It will be recalled that the school children and their teachers were abducted during coordinated attacks on Baptist Nursery and Primary School, Yawota Community Grammar School, and LA Primary School in Orire local government area on Friday, May 15, 2026. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has adjourned the hearing of an appeal challenging the registration of an African Democratic Congress ADC, Accord Party AP, and 3 other political parties until July 7. The appellate court postponed the matter from June 25 to enable parties in the suit file and exchange their briefs of argument ahead of the substantive hearing. At Thursday's proceedings, counsel for the Accord Party, Musbau Adetumbi San, informed the 3-member panel led by Justice Abubakar Mohammed that the record of appeal and the judgment of the Federal High Court were only obtained on Monday and had since been transmitted to the appellate court. The senior advocate subsequently sought a short adjournment to allow parties to file and exchange their processes. The appeal stems from a judgment delivered by Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court, Abuja, directing the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to register the African Democratic Congress, African People's Party, Action Alliance, Accord Party, and Zenith Labour Party. The Conference of Speakers of State Legislatures has lauded the Senate's passage of the State Police Bill for second reading, describing the move as a major step towards strengthening security and deepening federalism in the country. The chairman of the conference and Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Emomotimi Guo, who made this known in a statement, said the conference had consistently supported the establishment of state police. It also noted that community-based policing would improve security response and address local challenges more effectively, adding that this development marks a significant milestone in the national conversation on policing, security, and true federalism in Nigeria. According to Guo, the 36 state legislatures believe that policing structures rooted in local communities would enhance public safety and improve intelligence gathering. The conference also assured Nigerians that state assemblies would give the proposed constitutional amendments careful consideration when it reaches them for approval. Moving on, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has emphasized the critical role of adequate and timely funding in ensuring the successful conduct of the 2027 general elections. INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of Information and Voter Education Committee, Mohammed Haruna, stated this during a fireside chat organized by the Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa, PACA, in Abuja. He noted that early access to resources remains essential for effective planning, procurement, and deployment of election materials across the country. INEC also disclosed plans to conduct mock presidential election exercises ahead of the polls as part of measures to eliminate technical hitches and strengthen public confidence in the electoral process. Haruna said the electoral umpire is already deepening preparations for the presidential, National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly elections scheduled for early next year. Also, the executive director of the center, Ezenwa Nwagu, stressed the need for timely funding for election management institutions, warning that delays could create avoidable pressure and increase the risk of procedural lapses. Still in the news, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has expressed worry over the growing challenge of misinformation and the misuse of emerging technologies to spread false narratives capable of undermining public confidence in the electoral process. INEC Chairman Joash Amupitan disclosed this during a courtesy visit by a delegation of the Arewa Youth Forum (AYF), led by its Board of Trustees BOT Chairman Gambo Ibrahim Gujungu, to him at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. He advised citizens to rely on verified information from official Commission channels and other credible sources, adding that the active involvement of young people and civic organizations remains critical to the growth and sustainability of the country's democracy. Amubitan also appreciated the forum's commitment to strengthening democratic governance in Nigeria. On his part, the BOT chairman pledged his support for INEC, commending the Commission's efforts in strengthening Nigeria's electoral process and expressing its readiness to collaborate in voter education and civic mobilization ahead of future elections. The news is coming to you on Standard Voice Television Global News. Still to come in the news. Troops of Operation Fansanyama rescue kidnapped victims, recover weapons in Zamfara and Sokoto. And on the international scene, Secretary of State says U.S. seek deal with Iran but would not undermine its security. And on sport updates, at last Lions of Morocco break Super Eagles World Cup records. Details of these and more will be coming to you after this break. Do stay tuned.
Imagine see television, movies, news and entertainment in your pocket, just like that. Welcome to Free TV app. Now the #1 digital TV app for Nigeria. Free TV app get over 100 live TV channels, breaking news, sports, Nollywood movies, small pikin shows, and plenty more inside one app. No decoder wahala, no plenty setup. Just download, open, begin the watch. To get the app, just search Free TV for Google Play Store or Free TV NG for Apple App Store, or scan the QR code for your screen. Registration will take you seconds. You fit use phone number, email, WhatsApp, Google or Apple ID. OTP even dey, so make your account stay safe. For inside the app, the live TV section get over 100 licensed channels with program guide, pause, rewind and catch up. Free TV no be ordinary app. Na digital revolution. Download Free TV today.
You are welcome back from that short break, and now the news continues. Troops of Sector 2 of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation Fansanyama have rescued 3 kidnapped victims and repelled terrorists' mission in Zamfara and Sokoto states. The Media Information Officer of Operation Fansanyama, OPFY, Lieutenant Colonel Aliyu Danja, in a statement said the operations were carried out as part of ongoing efforts to combat terrorism and banditry across Northwest. Denja explained that the rescue operation took place during a routine offensive patrol at Bagega in Anka local government area of Zamfara state. According to him, the rescued victims were abandoned by their captors following sustained pressure mounted by troops. He said in another operation, troops of 8th Division Garrison under Sector 2 Operation Fansanyama reportedly acted on intelligence indicating the movement of terrorists in Kwanarjalof area of Jengeru village in Shinkafi local government area of Sokoto state. In the same vein, the troops also arrested a logistics supplier to terrorists and recovered 150 pairs of combat boots and other tactical items in Zamfara. Moving on, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has disclosed that credit to the federal government rose harshly over the 12 months ending in May 2026. The surge highlights an aggressive public sector appetite for borrowing despite the prevailing tight monetary conditions in the country. According to the CBN's latest monetary and credit statistics, total credit to the government climbed to 40.38 trillion naira in May 2026, up from 22.99 trillion naira recorded in the corresponding period of 2025. This marks a year-on-year increase of 17.39 trillion naira, approximately 17.4 trillion, representing a massive 75.6% rise in lending exposure to the public sector. On a month-on-month basis, the government's borrowing momentum showed no signs of slowing down, expanding by 779.70 billion naira in just 30 days from the 39.60 trillion naira reported in April 2026. And on the international scene, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has warned that a deal with Iran would not come at any price, as he sought to reassure Gulf allies that it would not undermine their security. The top U.S. diplomat was in Bahrain as part of regional tour of Gulf partners that were hit hardest by Iran during the Middle East war, which began on February 28 with a massive U.S. to Israeli campaign of strikes against the Islamic Republic. United States and Iran have signed a preliminary deal to end the war, embarking on negotiations expected to touch on thorny issues including Tehran's nuclear program, sanctions relief, and global energy flows through the Strait of Hormuz. Rubio also sought to reassure the energy-rich Gulf that the Hormuz Strait, which they have relied on for decades to export oil and liquefied natural gas, would remain toll-free. Iran imposed a blockade of Hormuz during the war as part of its retaliation against the U.S.-Israeli campaign, sparking a global economic shock. And lastly, on sport update, Morocco have overtaken Nigeria as the highest scoring African nation in World Cup history and set a new African record for most victories at the tournament, after defeating Haiti 4-2 in the thrilling Group C match to book their place in the round of 32 of the 2026 World Cup. The 4 goals against Haiti took Morocco's overall World Cup tally to 26, moving them clear of Nigeria's 23, while the victory was also the Atlas Lions' 7th at the tournament, surpassing the Super Eagles' previous African record of 6 wins. Morocco finished second in Group C with 7 points, level with group leaders Brazil but behind on goal difference, and will travel to Monterrey for their round of 32 clash on June 29. Morocco had already made history at the 2022 World Cup in Qatar by becoming the first African nation to reach the semi-finals, and the Atlas Lions have continued adding milestones to their growing legacy at the tournament. Finally on the news, here's a recap of the top stories again. President Tinubu pledges safe return of kidnapped Oyo teachers and school children. INEC harps on adequate, timely release of funds to ensure successful conduct of 2027 general elections. Troops of Operation Fansanyama rescue kidnapped victims, recover weapons in Zamfara and Sokoto. On the international scene, Secretary of State says U.S. seek deal with Iran but will not undermine its security. And on sport update, Atlas Lions of Morocco break Super Eagles World Cup records. On behalf of the news editor Ilya Adamu Auta and the production crew, my name is Sumaya Mustafa, thanking you and bye for now.